Hey y'all, and welcome to another episode of Highly Talkative, where we get high in conversation and discuss many topics from personal to community to anything that's going on in the world. So sit back, get cozy, and let me talk to you. Let's go. Yo, yiggity yo, what is up, my good people, and welcome back. Welcome back. As always, I'm very appreciative that you guys have joined in with me. Today is August 10th. It's a Monday, and as always, let me topics out to you guys. So first one is catfish and spaghetti a real meal? I don't know why this is a topic or a thing, but clearly it's a topic and a thing, and I want to talk about it. The new THCP laws that are in Texas that are going on right now, back to school shopping, what local influencers would you guys like from our community or like community activists that you guys think would be good for me to interview on the podcast? I'd love to hear that. I know there are a lot out, like a lot in the Central Texas area. I don't know them all, but if you have any suggestions, please reach out. I'm down to listen. Do you take yourself on dates? What else do you have? How many rags do you use when you're washing up? This is actually a topic, y'all, and that's one that I'm really excited to talk about. I also want to talk about the stuff that's going on in Mississippi right now. It's a clusterfuck of things if you have not heard. And then some of the school district implementations that they're doing this year, including SMARTTags. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about when I dive into it a little bit more. So let's get jiggy with the first topic, right? Which is catfish and spaghetti a meal? You ask me? Absolutely. Catfish and spaghetti are a meal. They're a meal as one, or they're a meal separately. I know a few people that say it don't go together, but I don't know. I'm a person who likes to mix my food, and I also don't mind my food touching. I know a lot of people who don't, but for me, it just goes together. It's really good. It's like a flavor type thing. Like with spaghetti, I do add a little bit of sugar to kind of balance it out so it's not so acidic. And then, catfish kind of has like that salty-ish taste to me. So it's kind of like a sweet and salty type mixture for me. Like I said, spaghetti's not like super sweet, but I put enough sugar in there to where it dilutes the acid, but also like you can still taste a hint of like sweetness. And like I said, I love sweet and salty. Like that's one of my favorite combinations to put together. So me having catfish with my spaghetti isn't a big thing for me. It's not a big deal. Throw some salad in there and it's on and popping. Um, I also, like I said, I know people who personally say like that shit just doesn't go together. They get upset. They think catfish should be one meal and spaghetti should be another meal. And like I just mentioned, I can totally like I get where they're coming from when they say that because I can eat catfish as a meal by itself, and then I can also eat spaghetti as a meal by itself. But putting the two meals together, immaculate. I don't have a problem with people who don't feel like that's a meal, but I know people who like if I'm saying I'm making catfish and spaghetti, like that's not a meal. I'm not eating that. That's just too much. Those two don't belong together. Yada yada yada. Whatever whatever. I want to know how y'all feel. Is catfish and spaghetti a meal in one? Is it two separate meals? Does it not matter to you? Like, email that response to highlytalkative@gmail.com because, like I said, I know I'm not the only one who thinks about stuff like this, and I know I'm not the only one who've encountered people who are either like catfish and spaghetti do go together or catfish and spaghetti just don't make sense together. And if I am having catfish and spaghetti as a meal, my catfish has to be fried hard. Like there are no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't want soft catfish with my spaghetti because then it becomes like a texture thing for me. And I don't like it. I don't, yeah. Like I'm a big texture person to an extent. And if I feel like something should be like crispy or like in a certain way, then when I have it and it's not, it throws me off and I just don't want to eat it anymore. So when I'm eating my catfish, like you better believe I'm breaking that shit apart. I better hear like a little when I do it. I don't want it to be like super soft in the middle, but I do want it to be like juicy. I don't know. Um, I haven't came across a catfish yet where I'm just like, yeah, fuck no, I'm not eating that. That's just not it. But also again, like I'm really picky when it comes to my catfish. So as long as my catfish is fried hard and it's nice and crispy, it's nice and flavorful, the sweet and salty mixture for me, like it just goes. I can appreciate it. And then I don't know if it makes a difference either, but I like my spaghetti mixed. I'll eat my spaghetti both ways, like, the pasta in one bowl and the sauce in another bowl, and you put it together. Um, or you can just dump it all in one pot and mix it up. I'll literally eat it any way. I don't think it really makes a difference for me, but it's really about the catfish. And then when you make the spaghetti, please, 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 please. I used to be like young and just did like the ground beef or whatever, but please add some sausage and some bell peppers and some onions to that spaghetti. Like, it's not a real spaghetti if it doesn't have those three things in it. And I just, talking about it right now makes me want to go make some catfish and spaghetti, but it's just not that time for that right now. Okay. It's just not that time. But me personally, I do love catfish and spaghetti together. Again, like I said, I would love to hear your responses at highlytalkative@gmail.com. Send me those responses. Do y'all think catfish and spaghetti go together? Do you not? How do you feel about it? So on and so forth. So my next topic. Now, this one, I don't know. I know it's going to kind of rub people the wrong way. And I am one of people because what in the actual fuck? So, first of all, there is a new law in Texas right now going around like TCHP, which is like, I guess you could say, synthetic weed, maybe. It's like more centered around the Delta 9 and like the hemp and Delta 8. I think I said Delta 9, like Delta 8 and all that other stuff. But the new law basically states that this, like having THCP or whatever, holds a much longer and harder criminal offense than somebody who is a pedophile. So, Texas enacted a strict crackdown effective July 31st of this year, reclassifying most hemp derived synthetic and alternative THC, such as Delta 8, Delta 10, and THCP, as Schedule 1 controlled substances. Only natural hemp derived Delta 9 THC products containing 0.3% or less dry weight remains legal for retail sale. So that means what's banned is, like I said, Delta 8 THC, Delta 10 THC, Delta 6 THC, THCP, and other chemically converted or manufactured marijuana. Okay, I get it. Like, I'm not a fan of the Delta 8 or whatever, but so we're going to dive into it some more. Penalties: possession of newly banned possessions of newly banned alternative THC products can be prosecuted as state jail felony, carrying a risk of 180 days to 2 years in jail and steep fines. Right? Now, I think that is absolutely crazy because, okay, I have to do some research. So, I say this is crazy because in the state of Texas, they don't use pedophilia. So we'll say sex offenders. If you are continuous sexual abuse of a child, committed 2 or more acts of sexual abuse over 30 days against a child under 14, this is an enhanced first-degree felony carrying 25 to 99 years of life in prison without parole. Aggravated assault for a child. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. So for offenses involving adults with sexual assault or anything like that, it says non-consensual sexual penetration achieved through force, threats, or lack of capacity to consent. This is a second-degree felony carrying 2 to 20 years in prison. So you mean to tell me that somebody who is holding THCP or is in possession of THCP is holding a felony 1 charge, which is worse than a felony 2 charge, and can automatically give you 2 years in prison, if not more, but in sexual assault case can give you 2 years to 20 years, I don't feel like that's an equal way out. I don't feel like that's right. I feel like sexual assault should hold a way more class or offense than THCP, marijuana, or anything in that matter. So I'm like, okay, Texas, what the fuck are we really doing here? Like, why is it that this is even a thing? And now I'm wondering how this is going to affect the midterm elections, because me personally, I don't like Abbott. I don't care for him. Anything he does for Texas is not for Texas. It's for them, his side, and take that how you want to take that, right? So with this law passing, I know there's been like a lot of uproar and a lot of people like saying a lot of things about it. So I'm hoping come midterm election, because I'm still in my head like, how the fuck do we keep electing him, especially after the last couple of years that have been going on and the things that we've been seeing, and we are still putting this man in office, and I'm not understanding why. So, like I was saying, I'm hoping that with this new law, it kind of trickles an effect down to where when midterm elections come around, Abbott is not even in question. Like, I hope the next person who's in office and who gets that chair does something greater than what Abbott has been doing. And he's been holding this seat way too long, if you ask me. I feel like in Congress, it should be just like the president. You hold 4 years or whatever, and then you get 2 terms of 4 years, and after that, you can't be in Congress anymore, or whatever seat that you hold. And I say this because you have people like Abbott who have been in this chair for so long and have been, in my opinion, I'm not going to say running Texas in the ground, but coming up with all these things, and especially like how he tried to redistrict the map where it affects Black people. Like, I need somebody who, and I know this is really hard to say because I feel like it's never going to be this way, but if we could just get somebody who is for both sides, who see the benefit of things from both perspectives, I think it would be such a like an amazing place. We would thrive so much. But then how does that work for the economy, for the government? Like, of course, there are checks and balances put in place for certain things to thrive and progress better than others. But it's just like, why do Black people always have to be on the shit end of the stick? And this doesn't even have to do anything with the THCP law that I was speaking about. I kind of went through like a little loophole, rabbit hole, whatever. But that's just where I'm at with that. So midterm elections, I'm really hoping, like I said, we can get this man out the chair and get things back on track, and even possibly legalize marijuana and not just medical marijuana, because we do in Texas have like this program for medical marijuana, and you have to see like certain doctors, and they can prescribe it to you through certain things, and it's like a certain amount. But let's just make it legal all around. I feel like that would take the stress off of a lot of people. I think Texas would see an influx in certain things when it comes to pricing in the economy and helping Texas grow. That's just my opinion. But honestly, like I said, I just hope this pushes Abbott out of the office. And I also want to know, like, does this have anything to do with alcohol sales? I haven't really dug into it, and I think I will a little bit later. But I've seen on social media a lot of people saying, like, this is happening because of the fact that a lot of Gen Z kids are not purchasing alcohol, which I don't think that that's a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, alcohol is way worse than marijuana, in my opinion. Of course, driving under the influence is driving under the influence, but I don't think I've ever ran across a case where somebody was in an accident because they smoked too much marijuana. You may have seen like somebody was asleep on the side of the road because they were high out of their mind. Rather you be asleep on the side of the road than causing an accident because you were drunk. So I don't see an issue with alcohol not being purchased as much, especially because I feel like alcohol has been so diluted over the years. In my opinion, there is no way we can be pushing out alcohol the way that we're pushing it out, and it's not authentic and doesn't contain like certain like chemicals and all these things to make us want to drink it and stay drinking it. Also, alcohol just doesn't taste the same to me anymore. I remember I could take like a couple shots and be like, okay, yeah, I'm feeling good now. Now it's like I need the whole fucking bottle before I even feel anything. So at this point, I don't even want to drink anymore, honestly. So I feel it. I'm not mad at it. I'm just mad at the law in general because Abbott, what are you doing here? Like, are you really just trying to force yourself out of office and this is the best way to do it? Or did you really just think that this is a good idea and everybody was going to stand behind you? Because right now I'm seeing a lot of uproar, but then I'm also seeing a lot of people saying, like, it's for THCP. This is not for THC. Like, you guys are up in an uproar talking about I can't smoke my weed anymore and this, that, and the third. But read the fine print. This is for like chemically grown marijuana, this, that, and the third. So I'm kind of like trying to see both sides of it, but I'm still just like the penalty that this crime holds is just insane to me. Insane. Now, let me talk about back to school shopping. Y'all have known me for 3 years now, okay? Y'all have been 3 seasons with me. We're on like episode almost 40 of season 3 now. You guys know I'm a procrastinator, okay? This is what I do. I do procrastination the best out of anybody I've ever heard. But you know what? I may have procrastinated, but I'm still making it work. I'm still getting shit done. And I may have been a little late, but I'm still on time, okay? Um, so, with that being said, my kids' sense of fashion is crazy. I let them build like their own carts on Shein and like Winter Ross and some other places and like let them pick out their own stuff. I usually do the school shopping for them. Like, they'll just get a box that comes to the house and they'll go through it and they're like, oh my God, I like this, blah, 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 blah. And I can tell that they really do or they really don't. But I let my kids build out their own Shein cart, and I'm scrolling through the cart and I'm looking at like the stuff that they put in the cart, and I'm looking at my oldest son like, what the hell is this that you have in my cart with the rhinestones and the shorts? But boy, if you like it, I love it. I want to see how you put that shit on. And then my youngest, he's so smart. He's so cute. My youngest son, he's putting like a whole bunch of outfits in the cart. Like, my oldest son is doing like shorts and separate shirts and hoodies and sweats and stuff. My youngest son is literally doing just like full blown outfits put together because he doesn't want to have to figure out what goes with what or anything like that. So, um, I'm sitting there watching them put their cart together and I'm really loving it, to be honest with you, because it's like I'm learning my kids' sense of fashion. So if I did want to go get them something, I kind of know what they're leaning more towards. But I told them both, I think that they could put like a certain amount of items in the cart and then I'll look at the items. But basically, whatever they put on the cart, I'll go ahead and order for them because I don't want to keep picking the clothes out for them. I want them to be able to do it themselves and, really find that independence. So I finally ordered the cart, and let's not forget to mention that I missed tax-free weekend. I think that was this weekend. I didn't get out the house. I didn't go buy them anything. I shopped online, and then still haven't even bought them shoes. And school starts next week, like next Monday. So we're going to try to knock that out this week on top of buying some more outfits and then getting haircuts and getting hair done and all the things. I need to make sure my boys are looking good. But like I said, y'all know me. I procrastinate. Um, so I'm just trying to get all the things together. I still haven't even gotten them like a backpack or their actual school supplies because at this point they're not allowed to take like actual backpacks to school. Like, they have to be clear or mesh bags. So I'm really just like, this isn't fun anymore. Like, I really used to love backpack shopping. I'm a backpack fanatic. I love me a good backpack. I don't even have to be going anywhere, but if I'm out and I see a backpack I want it. It's no questions asked about it. It's kind of like me and my tumblers. Um, so yeah, I got to do better there. I'm going to do better, just not right now. Um, Maybe when we come out of like winter break, I'll be a little bit better with like winter shopping or what have you. But in my head, I'm just like, at least I ordered them clothes. Like, they could have went back to school in the same clothes that they had last year. We could have been ordering clothes next week. But something is better than nothing, right? Right. Um. So like with my next topic, this is gonna be kind of like broad, but not too broad. I'm in Central Texas. Um, and I know that there are a lot of influencers out here, and I know there's a lot of community activists and, a lot of people who really put back into the community what they receive from the community and all the things. Like, I know For example, there's a lot of like backpack drives going on this weekend and next weekend. I know that there are a lot of back to school events going on. Um, so I think it would be a good idea for me to have some people come on my podcast who are from Central Texas and kind of help promote themselves and tell us what they do and how they, fight for whatever they're fighting for in the Central Texas area and why they're fighting for it and how it came about, or um, why they became influencers, and you know, what they do, how do they influence, and all the things. And I think I really just came up with this topic because I was at a Spam Musubi festival over the weekend, and I seen one of the TikTok influencers from the Central Texas area at the Spam Musubi festival. He kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I'm not even gonna lie to you, but with him being out there, I was just like, imagine if every festival that we held in Central Texas or in my city, they had at least 2 to 3 influencers come out and help promote what they're doing or talk about what they're doing on their platform to, really get the community involved and bring the community out. Um, so I just want to try and get some of them on here and ask them some questions. Like I said, I know a few off the top of my head, but if you guys know anybody who's an influencer or a community activist or just doing something positive for the community, please, please, please reach out to me at highlytalkative@gmail.com and provide me like a synopsis of who they are, what they do, how to follow them, or how to reach out to them, or anything like that. Because again, I like to share my platform with things regarding that matter. I think it's just really important. I feel like we can help each other in so many different ways. And that's just something that's really important to me. With this platform, I do wish to, somewhere down the line, give back to my community, be able to discuss all the things that we have going on in Central Texas or in my city, and just really help in a positive way bring the city out and allow us to do a lot more things. Now, um, I want to say this before I get on to the next topic. I want to say shout out to all the back to school events as well. And I mean, that's for those who are doing backpack drives, free haircuts, free braidings. I know, for example, my son's barber, he owns Faded Dream Barbershop here in Killeen, Texas. They are off of Stan Schluter. I'll get that address here shortly. But what he's doing is a back to school event this year. This will be, I think, his 3rd or 4th year. He's done it now. The first couple years, he did a backpack drive and like giving away backpacks and free school supplies and stuff like that. And although he isn't doing the backpack drive this year, he is still doing a back to school event. But I feel like this one is going to be a lot better, only in the sense of they're going to have free haircuts, free braidings. I think it's like certain styles. He's going to have a bounce house, free hot dogs, free hamburgers. And then he's going to have a waiting area for everybody who's waiting to get like service. And in that waiting area, I believe he said that they're going to have someone there that's going to be teaching the kids about financial literacy. And I think that that is so dope. And I say this because I know a lot of kids don't know about financial literacy. And I know a lot of parents themselves don't know about financial literacy as well. So I think it's just really good to be able to give back to the community in that way and teach them something, because you never know what that information or who that information touches and how they take that in and what they end up doing with it. So I just feel like that that's a really good step to take. And I'm really hoping that it comes full circle for him, where he's teaching this information, and then maybe later on that year or next year or a few years down the line, one of his clients can come back to them and tell them about like how they were able to open up their own shop or make their own money in a certain way because of the information that they learned at his back to school event. So if you guys are in the Central Texas area, the Clean area, Temple, Belton, Waco, Gatesville, whatever, his back to school event will be held at Faded Dreams. that is located on 4200 West Schluter Loop, Suite 106 in Killeen, Texas, 76549. That's the address, and I believe he said he's going to be holding it on the 15th of August, which is this coming Saturday. I don't know the time yet, but I will put that on my Facebook once I find out the time as well as the flyer. And you guys go support. It's all about word of mouth support. Take your kids, get their haircuts, get them babies, girls hair braided. I mean, get your baby boys hair braided too. If your little girl need a fresh fade, hook her up. He's the place to go. I absolutely love the barber. I met him through somebody, and ever since then, we have been locked in. He's been cutting my oldest son's hair for like the last 5, 6 years now. Um, it's all love, it's all family, and he's just, I think, a really great person to learn this information from because I see the moves that he's making, and I've really been trying to get this full on my podcast for the longest time, but he's been so busy, and it's gonna happen. And when it happens, y'all will understand like why. Out of all the things I promote, like this is something I'm promoting really hard because I actually love his story. I love what he's doing with, his life and how he made a complete change to do the things that he's doing and being able to provide the way that he's providing and giving back to the community. So again, his address is 4200 West Schluter Loop. That's Suite 106, Killeen, Texas, 76549. The event will be held August 15th. Take the babies out there. Let them learn something. Let them get fresh. And it's for the free. Everybody loves the word free, okay? Now, let's see. We got a couple more topics. This one is a kind of fun one. Do you take yourself out on dates? For me, yes, I do. And it did take me a long time to get to this stage because I used to not take myself out on dates because I just thought it was weird. But I also think that this kind of falls into like a help promote self-love type thing for yourself. Learning how to really sit with yourself alone and be comfortable and do things by yourself and it being okay and it feeling good. And self-care, self dates can be something as simple as going to the movies by yourself or taking yourself out to eat or going to get your nails and feet done by yourself. Like I said, for me, it used to be a really hard thing, but now I love that shit. Like both of my boys would be gone, and my niece would be like, I'll watch her for a little bit," and I'm like, "Oh hell yeah!" And I'll go home. I'll take me a nice hot long shower because I haven't been able to, and then I will find me somewhere and I will go eat, and I'll just enjoy the silence and being able to really soak in being, by myself and reflect on like how all the days have been and what I've been up to and what I want to do and the ways that I've progressed and all of that. So, like I said, I think taking yourself out on a date is actually a really good thing. And I just really encourage like anybody who's out there to really just try and do it. Like if you've never done that before, I really want you to try this week. Like it doesn't have to be anything extravagant. It can literally be something as simple as making yourself a sandwich and taking yourself to the park and just enjoying that time alone with yourself. I don't think people really understand like how refreshing and how rejuvenated you feel after you really spend that time alone with yourself and reflecting on certain things that you didn't even know you needed to reflect on or something that was like really bothering you. Um so I challenge you to do that. Okay? Take yourself on a date this week. Matter of fact, take yourself out to eat. Fuck making a sandwich. Take yourself out to eat. I don't care if you go to McDonald's. I don't care if you go to Subway. I don't care if you go to Texas Roadhouse, Longhorn Steakhouse, Chili's. Go somewhere by yourself and really enjoy that alone time. And then email me at highlytalkative@gmail.com and let me know how that date went. Because I promise you, after you go on that self date and realize, like, okay, it's not as bad as I thought it was, you're going to want to do it more and more and more. And it's just going to become a thing to where you're like, okay, once a week, I really want to do this for myself. And I love that. That's something that I feel like everybody should incorporate within their time. Married, single, boyfriend, girlfriend, no friends, like, do that. And then really, like, reflect and think about how well that went. All right. that wasn't that long of a topic, but I just felt like that really needed to be discussed because, like I said, I don't think a lot of people really understand how something that small can make such a big difference in your life. Now, let me get on y'all, okay? I'm on y'all heads, boy, because I need to know, how many rags do you have when you wash up? Now, I can tell you right off rip, baby. For me, I got 3 rags, okay? Got a face rag, I got an ass and the JJ rag, and I have a body rag. Okay, I wash my face with one rag, and then I have a rag that gets my areas, like, my down south areas really good. And then I have a rag where I exfoliate with one body wash, and then I go back and I wash with another body wash. Um, my showers are at minimum maybe 15 minutes long because I think of the way that I wash. But I'll get in the shower, I'll get my down south rag, and I'll take care of them areas. I'll rinse it off and wring it out, hang it up, and then I get my exfoliation, like my little loofah, and I'll take that loofah and I'll exfoliate all over, and then I wash my face, and then with my wash my face rag, and then I go back and use my loofah again to wash my entire body with regular body wash. My shower is not complete if I do not make them steps. And if I don't get them steps out when I'm taking a shower, you might as well 100% bet on the fact that I'm about to go wash my ass again because I did not feel like I took a complete shower and now I feel yucky. Okay. Um, and I'm also teaching this to my kids. Like, don't get me wrong, this wasn't something that I've always done. I learned this maybe a little after high school, which, no like shade thrown to my mom or anybody, but nobody ever told me that. Like, it never really dawned on me that you're literally washing your face with the same rag you just washed your dirty ass with, and you don't think that that's nasty. So, like, I'm teaching my kids that basically, and I'm literally telling them, like, your face is going to keep breaking out if you keep washing your face with the same rag that you're washing your dirty ass with, that you take poops out of, that you barely really clean, right? So how about y'all have 2 rags? One rag that stays here for in the morning when you're washing your face and taking care of like your face business. And then you can have another rag in the shower where you are taking care of your body business. Now, would I prefer for them to have 3 rags? Absolutely. But right now, they are 13 and 9. I just need them to get to the 2 rag part, okay? Because one rag was killing it. And I'm just like, no, we're not doing that. Now that I have a baby girl too, I think it's really important to incorporate that with her as well because we need to clock that. Okay, we have good skin around here. We do the right thing when it comes to washing our bodies. We wash the right way. I just, ever since high school, after high school, and then like having a conversation with somebody, and I'm like, you know what, I think they were like, ew, you use the same rag to wash your face that you wash your ass with. And I'm like, yeah, ain't that normal? And they're like, no, girl. And they went down a rabbit hole with me, and I'm like, oh shit, that really makes sense. And literally, ever since that next day, I never had one rag. Never. Um, I need I need to hear your inputs on that too. How many rags do y'all have? Email me at highlytalkative@gmail.com with your answer, your response as to why you have those many rags and why you feel like you should or shouldn't have excessive amounts of rags. Now, when it comes to towels, I feel like it's like a touchy subject because in my head, I'm like, you're drying off. Yes, you're clean. You took a shower, so you're really drying off a clean body. But then I'm also like, so sometimes I'll let my towel last me through the week. Sometimes I feel gross and my towel lasts me a couple days. It really just depends on how I'm honestly feeling. Um, but then I'm also like, I'm not judging, but I'm judging you. If you are at this grown ass age and you are still only using one towel to wash your ass and wash your face, okay? Hopefully, when you hear this, you'll be like, you know what? Maybe that is a little gross because I'm washing my ass that has been sweating and I've been taking poops out of, and it's holding all the things on the inside, and If you have a wee wee, you're getting up in your crevices and all the things, or you have a vagina, you're getting up in there or whatever, then you're gonna wring the rag out, not use extra soap or whatever, but you're gonna wring the rag out and then put that same rag on your face, on your face. That's gross. Don't do that. Don't do that, okay? And if you are a kid and you're listening to this, it's to your parents' discretion, because I always put on my episodes that they're very explicit. And second, wash your ass the right way. Use 2 rags, and 1 rag for your face, 1 rag for your body, okay? Face and body, 2 separate rags. We don't play that shit around here. Like, do you not feel nasty after I'm telling you this? Like, if you only have 1 rag, after you hear what I'm saying, do you not feel gross? Or are you just like, whatever? Because I know a lot of people who are like, I don't use soap when I take a shower. I just use my hand in the hot water and it washes my body. And I'm like, you're fucking gross. That's not okay. We should not be doing that. But to each his own, right? I'm judging, but I'm not judging you. But know and understand that my household has a minimum, for my boys, a minimum of 2 towels. And for me, a minimum of 3. I don't play that at all. Like, I cannot. Now, I should have kind of started off with this topic first, because I feel like this is a really deep topic, kind of. But I'm still kind of on this Nolan Wells thing, like this Nolan Wells case. And I really need to know what the fuck is going on in Mississippi right now. Like, if you are Black and you're from Mississippi, I really want to know how, not like how you're living in a bad way, but how you're living. Because with all this information and all the things that I'm seeing in the news regarding Black people, and I understand there's like communities in Mississippi that are predominantly Black, but Mississippi, to me, is like Alabama, racist as fuck. Like, plenty of sundown towns. Like, Black people just don't belong there, in my opinion. Um, it's just sad to see. So Nolan Wells, he is the teen that was found, uh, who went missing over the 4th of July. And supposedly, like, all the people that he went with know nothing about how he disappeared or what happened to his whereabouts or anything like that. And the people he went on the 4th of July trip with, they all made it back, but he did not. But somehow his cell phone did. And it's just not making any sense. Of course, they're saying that they didn't find any incriminating evidence in the autopsy, but then when they tried to do an independent autopsy, like, certain things were missing. And supposedly, like, this is normal when the state does an autopsy. If they're finding something that doesn't make sense, like, they'll take it and do it for more testing, but then still send the body to the independent person who's supposed to be doing the autopsy. But if I'm doing an independent autopsy, I don't care what you find, I want everything. I want everything. I want the whole body. I don't just want bits and pieces, because you feel like that's okay. I need to examine the entire body. So because the entire body wasn't sent to the independent person that did the autopsy, he wasn't 100% able to give like a full ruling as to if there was foul play or not. Um, so I know the family is like still really up in limbo, and I know it's really sad to hear. I don't think anybody's been charged with anything as of yet. I think the case is still open and ongoing. So I'm really hoping that the family was able to acquire a really good lawyer to where they can really get some answers, and this family can get some peace of mind, because it's just sickening and sad to me to know that this Black boy was the only Black boy out of his entire group of white friends that something happened to, and nobody knows anything, but had a cell phone of his, was probably like deleting messages. Who knows? I say probably because I really don't know, but what would you be doing with this boy's phone for this long and then not still come up with anything? Like, that phone should have something in it. It's just really sad. Like, my heart goes out to the family, and I just hope that they come up with some answers. And then there's this 29-year-old named Tasia Fortin who was found hanging from a tree in Mississippi. Both of these people are Black, okay? Hanging from a tree is crazy. Because if we know our history, we know that we used to get lynched, and lynched means that they used to take a rope, tie it a certain way, put it around our necks as black people, and hang us from trees. So I want to know what the fuck is really going on here in Mississippi. And don't get me wrong, once I hear, like, it's two states where I hear where I'm automatically like racist, don't ever want to go there, don't want to be there, don't want to step foot in there. And it's so crazy because Mississippi uh has like a HBCU out there, but I don't think that a lot of people intertwine with one another. Like, I don't know. Well, I've never been to Jackson, uh, Jackson State, Mississippi. I mean, university in real life. Like, I just attend there online for school, but I know like that HBCU is down there. But just because there's a HBCU in your state doesn't mean anything at all, right? So I'm just like, what's really going on? And it's so sad because we should be hearing more about this, and I don't feel like we are. And it just so happened to come up on my algorithm on my social media, but I'm really just like at a loss for words because, again, what the fuck? Like, if it had sadly been a young white lady or a young white girl or whatever who was found hanging from that tree, you better believe I feel like there would have been boots on the ground, answers would be had by now. Um, so it's just sad, and I want to know what we have to do. And I know there's a long way to go because it feels like history repeats itself, right? Like, yeah, we're not doing slavery. Yeah, it's not racism, but there is still some sort of discoloration going on. Um, we say that there isn't racism, but we know that there is. It's just racism isn't as bad as it used to be. And I know a lot of black people don't take mess as easily as we did back in the day. So it's just like, where do we really go from here? How do we stop history from how do we stop history from repeating itself? And is there even a way to have history stop repeating itself? Because we all know life is nothing but a cycle. Like, the life cycle is real. It starts one way, goes to another aspect, another, you die, and then you ask me, you start it all back over again. So, in what life cycle do we get to change what racism is and who it affects and why it's even a thing? Because at this point, I feel like it's crazy, honestly. But we'll get it together, all right? Everybody can love everybody. It's just, how are we going to get there? All right. And my last topic. My last topic is the school district implementing smart tags. And the smart tags are for bus riders so parents can know, like, when their kids get on and off the bus and where buses stop and all those things. So, my question is, would you feel better knowing when your child gets on and off the bus? For me, yes, absolutely. Although my kids do not ride the bus, I think I would feel so much better knowing when my child has been picked up from school and when my child has been dropped off at the bus stop. And I think this kind of just helps with, like, God forbid your child ends up on the wrong bus or accidentally get kidnapped. And oh my God, scratch the kidnap real quick, because with the school district that I'm in, I've heard so many stories where they've allowed a young child to get on the wrong bus, and now they're on the wrong route and they don't know what to do and they're scared. And some of them have actually gotten off the bus because they think that, they're so young that this is their route or whatever. So I know, like, last year there were so many Facebook posts regarding, like, the transportation in the area and, like, how school district just was not handling it properly. So I think that's a really good feature that they're implementing with the smart tag, to be able to know when my child is getting on and off a bus. But with that being said, is it going to scan if they're getting on the wrong bus? Like, is it going to scan and it say, like, hey, this is the bus that your child is riding on? And then you're able to reach out quickly and be like, that's the wrong bus. Like, that's not the bus that they're supposed to be on. Or Is it like they get on the bus and the bus driver scans the smart tag and they're like, oh, wrong bus. We need to hurry up and get them to the bus that they're supposed to be on. You feel me? Like, I don't know how that's going to go, but I absolutely would love to know when my child is getting on and getting off of a bus. And then as a parent, I would like to be able to track the bus in real time. Like, I might have to be at work a little bit later than usual. I might have to be at work a little bit later than usual. So I'd like to know, okay, this is the stop that they're at or whatever. Or I might even want to pick them up a little bit earlier. So I want to know, like, okay, I can go pick them up from this stop instead of the regular stop so I can go and do what I need to do. I think being able to track the bus in real time is an actual really good feature. And I feel like parents should absolutely be able to do that. I feel like that's a feature that should be had. And if you want to opt out of not being able to track the bus, fine. Then you don't have to track it. But yes, I feel like I should be able to track my child's whereabouts when they are leaving that school, whether it's school transportation or not. Like if my son is school like picked up by somebody, you better believe I'm still tracking his location and I'm knowing where he's at and how long it's going to be for him to get home. But then that also trickles into what if technology fails, you know? Every day isn't a perfect day. Our Wi-Fi doesn't always work, right? So, for instance, you're trying to track your child and the application isn't working, and now you're freaking out because of whatever reasons you have going on at home or whatever, when you're really wanting your child to hurry up and get there, but now you can't track them because the app is down. So then that causes frustration, and of course, that causes a lot of support tickets, and then like it gets on the news and all the things. So, I'm just like, this is a really good idea, but we also have to make sure we factor in like all the things that could actually go wrong. And then that also puts into how much responsibility belongs to the school versus what belongs to the parents. Now, if you're transporting my kid, 100%, I feel like all the responsibility lies on you at this point. Because right now, I'm entrusting you to get my child either to and from school or to and from a field trip or anything like that. And I feel like even during field trips, I should be able to track that. Like, y'all scan that smart tag, y'all get on that bus, and I'm able to track that bus because you never know what can happen. Like, you just don't. So I feel like, yes, as much as it should fall on the parent, it should also fall on the school, because let's be for real, I feel like these school districts feel like they can implement so many rules when it comes to your children of what you can and cannot do when they're in their possession, that if that's how you feel, understand that you're taking 100% of this responsibility when they're in your possession, and I don't want to hear any fight back. um I know there has been like a few cases that have happened even last year with the district where kids were not handled appropriately, and because they are being mishandled in your care as a parent, you are being held responsible for what is happening to my child. This does not fall on me. This happened under quote unquote your roof with your employees, under with your facility. Like, y'all need to fix this. You need to take responsibility and accountability for it. And what are we going to do from here? Because don't look at me trying to figure out what the answer is. And that's just that. So I have given y'all a lot of information. I've talked enough. We've hit some topics. Oh, before we get off this, please let's give a shout out to the WNBA, because baby, if you seen the Aces play Indiana Fever and the way Asia Wilson was putting that motherfucking defense on Caitlin Clark, and Clark really thought she was gonna go up against the Defensive Player of the Year, and then the way Chelsea Gray was balling out and wetting them threes. Shout out to y'all, okay? I'm loving the WNBA. I'm loving how everything is going for them and growing for them. I think I'm going to take my kids to a basketball game this season. I really want to go see Paige Buccaneer play. I think she plays for the Dallas Wings. So I think that'll be something really fun to do. Okay. Now that I've gotten back on topic, I appreciate you guys for always checking in, clocking in, tuning in, following, liking, subscribing. My followers are slowly climbing, and I appreciate that. As always, you guys can follow me on Instagram at highly.talkative. You can follow me on Facebook at highly talkative. If you want to reach me for anything, for bookings, for social media preferences, for topics, feedback, anything like that, you can email highly.talkative at gmail.com. And of course, I will always be more than welcome to respond back, listen, read, whatever. And you can find Highly Talkative Podcast on all major streaming platforms. That's Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube. You can also go to rss.com and search Highly Talkative Podcast and choose your streaming platforms from there. I'm currently working on how to get on Desert, I think TuneUp, and Amazon as well. So look out for those. And then I also have my other two businesses. I have Keep It Stashy, where I can, focus on all things in the background of your business while you do the forefront. I'm helping with social media, storage, anything, organization like that you need help with. Holler at your girl. I'm here to help. You can email me at documents@keepitstashy.com or follow me on Facebook or Instagram at Keep It Stashy as well. And then lastly, I have my custom business where I make t-shirts, anything custom, pins, backpacks, hat, you name it. I'm your girl. I can even make business cards. And that's Sassy Ash Stash on Facebook as well as Instagram. And you can also email sassyashstash@gmail.com. If you have any inquiries or things that you want me to try and make, you can also send like templates or whatever there, edits there. I can take a look at them and we can kind of just go from there. And as always, I really appreciate all the love and support that I've been receiving. You guys have not gone unnoticed every week that I come here and I'm able to share my platform and all the things with you guys. I really enjoy doing that. As always, like I say, like, subscribe, follow, share me with somebody. You never know what that one share could do. And I will talk to you guys next week. I'm out. Be easy.